Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE TLC 2015. And first of all, I'll go off and say I'm sorry I couldn't do a live reaction, but in this case, no one really wanted to come over and really watch the pay-per-view. And obviously, I was going to because I was going to do a review of some kind, whether it would have been live reaction or this type of review here. But the reason why I didn't do a live reaction by myself because, well, that would be a little boring. So we are going to do the review right now. So I'll go off and start with the pre-show match with Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. First of all, the promo that Team Bad did was horrendous. Bad. No fun at all. The 12 days of Bad Christmas, it came off horrible in every single way. The match with Becky Lynch and Sasha, your kind of typical fanfare where they've been going. Pretty good match overall, but they've been going with the typical, Sasha Banks gets a win via the distractions and everything like that. So overall, not a bad match, but your typical way that they've been going with everything with Team Bad as of late. Just the whole aspect that they're the one team that's still kind of, well, a team at the moment. And we'll see where they we'll see where they go with everything there. I'm thinking they will eventually, hopefully, separate everybody from each other, including like with the Bellas and everything, with the exception of obviously Nikki and Brie, because they kind of do work together well. But we'll see where they go with all that. So let's go into the actual pay-per-view itself. They started out with the ladder match for the tag team titles. What a ladder match. What a ladder match. Obviously, some of the spots were completely, not needed in certain areas because just for logistical reasons in the terms of what you would think. It's like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this now. You should be climbing the ladder. You had a few of those spots. But the one that I have to really talk about, how is it said that it's not Del Rio, it's Serena Del Sol by Kalisto on the top of the ladder through the other ladder. That was scary to watch. That was a great spot. It actually kind of made a little bit of sense because you're both fighting over the tag team titles up on the ladder, and you're trying to get rid of the other guy, but obviously he took himself out doing it, but it was some move that kind of made sense to do at that time. It looked amazing. It looked scary as all anything there. Great spot. I loved the aspect of and I just loved a lot of the spots that they did inside of this match. And I loved everything that the New Day was doing as well. Xavier Woods on commentary, even their promo beforehand, is like reason why he decided not to do something crazy with his hair. Obviously, they were going to try to garner some hometown heat there for Xavier Woods and New Day by mocking the Boston crowd and everything. I thought they did a really good job with that promo throughout the entire night. Xavier Woods on commentary was really good, correcting everybody at all times. I love the aspect that he was correcting the announcers the entire time on throughout the match when they kept messing up names for everybody else. And of course, everything New Day was doing during the match as well. They didn't necessarily go for crazy high spots themselves, but they were taking part in them in some way basically playing it off that they were getting eliminated throughout most of the match and then sneaking out with the victory in the end. I even like the little spot on commentary with Xavier was going like, you know what? This match is no DQ. Drops the microphone and gets the trombone and gets rid of Kalisto on the ladder there, giving the New Day the victory. I liked what they did in this match. They did a really good job with this entire match in every way, shape, and form. So this brings me to the Ryback and Rusev match. In the end, not a bad match. These two worked actually pretty well together. I didn't really care for the way they decided to end it. Basically, it's been the exact same way they had the match end on Raw, with the exception that Rusev actually wins the match this time versus a double countout. basically him or Rusev shoving Ryback into Lana, which they made it seem like, okay, Lana just hits him and then falls backwards and everything in that aspect, which logistically doesn't make any sense whatsoever why they decided to go that route with it, because, quote unquote, why would you do something like that? Well, as a manager, why would you do something like that, actually hitting the guy? And if you don't make it look proper, then the referee would technically have to make the disqualification. And logistically, I get it, scripted and everything, but logistically, bad booking, bad writing in that sense. With how they went about it, they could have gone a different way in there to make that distraction happen again. But overall, okay match, but nothing special to write home about here. The chairs match with Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger. First of all, why was Zeb Coulter not involved in any way, especially after that promo on Monday? The promo on Monday night, and how Swagger was talking about Zeb and everything like that throughout the week. Why was Zeb Coulter not involved in this match? I felt like he needed to be involved in this match, but the match itself overall, that was a pretty darn good match. I keep forgetting, even though Swagger has never really gotten anywhere because of the fact that he's not that good on the microphone, or he's not that charismatic. He doesn't really get over with the crowd all that much, outside of the whole We the People thing he did for the longest time. That's still over as well. I keep forgetting how good he is in the ring. And this match was really good between Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger. The two of them put on a really good chairs match. You play with what you're given, and they kind of knocked it out of the ballpark here. I enjoyed this match. I thought they did a good job here. I thought they did a really good job. It was just lacking the aspect that they should have probably involved Zeb Coulter in some way, shape, or form. Maybe they could be doing that somewhere down the road here if they're going to continue the feud. And I get what they were going, and you could see the theme of what they were doing for the entire night is that the whole League of Nations was kind of going over. And I'll get into a little bit of that here in a very, very quick moment as well when I talk about the main event a little bit later on. But up next, they had the Wyatts going up Team Extreme. Team ECW. Dudley's, Tommy Dreamer, Rhino. And man, this match, for a tables match, kind of not that good. I didn't really enjoy this match all that much. I get the aspect of putting over the Wyatts strong here, and they've needed to do that for quite a while, but this match as a whole was kind of blah. I won't even say blah just because it was predictable that they would go with the Wyatts here, but blah in the aspect that it was just not that good of a match. It was an okay match, don't get me wrong. I still find the Dudleys enjoyable. I find the Wyatts extremely enjoyable, but this match just didn't really click. And we'll see if that. More likely, this will be probably the end of that feud for them in some way, and we'll see where they go with the Dudleys, and we'll see where they go with the Wyatts next. But this match just didn't really click with me in any way. I did not fully enjoy this match. Up next was Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose. This was a good match. This was a really good match. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. Also, nice to see that they decided to kind of tease everybody throughout the entire night. And this is kind of giving a little bit of a spoiler if you didn't watch it, but tease earlier in the night that, both Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose were going to win titles, and then they were going to go out to celebrate a little bit later. Good way of teasing it by having Ambrose actually win in some way, and they could play off of that later on. I felt like the match was well paced, well done. I liked how Kevin Owens would try to do everything in his power without just actually getting disqualified to try to win the match without fully beating Dean Ambrose in some way. The counters to each person's finishers at all times, I liked where they were, liked where they're going. Ended with one last counter into the Hurricane Rana, into the pinning combination. I liked this match from beginning to end. And Dean Ambrose's reaction at the end was picture perfect for somebody who's like, because they're supposed to give an aspect of real life in a way, but and when you do that, like when you win a championship, you celebrate. Like his reaction was perfect, the way for winning the title and everything. And this is one of the few times that I liked how the commentators were going as well, because you had King and Michael Cole going after JBL about about Dean Ambrose winning the title, and JBL just like, oh, this isn't good moments. They're trying to play it off proper as a heel and face commentators. It came off really good. The entire thing itself came off really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this entire match and how the entire match played out, beginning to end, and how everything went. Great job. The next one, Charlotte and Paige. Overall, match was good. Problem with the match is the storytelling. And you can probably say that about most of the other matches throughout the entire night. It was going into the pay-per-view with storytelling. I mean, we're a month off of, right before Survivor Series, Paige bringing in Ric Flair and Charlotte's brother who had passed away, and kind of saying derogatory things and everything in that aspect. And now they're playing it off as Charlotte's being the dirtiest player in the game now, and she's a complete heel. Like, both people here, like, none of them are the good guys in any way. And that's not to say that was going to be a bad thing for the match. It's just like, technically, like, now they have Charlotte basically cheating and doing this and doing stuff with Ric Flair, and then of course Ric Flair's always around now at all times. So they're trying to play her off as a heel, when literally a month ago they were trying to make her this ultimate babyface, and it just didn't play off all that. It just doesn't play off all that well in the terms of the story. And now obviously they're sweeping that portion of the story under the rug, but because they think, well, we don't know about that or anything like that, or we don't remember anything like that. Obviously, some people do. And that that aspect of remembering what they did a month ago kind of hurt this match. I thought the in-ring action was really good. The story that they were obviously telling is now Charlotte's doing everything in her power to keep the title, even resorting to doing like Ric Flair dirty tricks and everything like that. And all in all, obviously they're going for some kind of heel turn with Charlotte, and I liked what they did. I liked what they did backstage with Ric Flair, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, kind of teasing a match with those two, an actual feud with those two down the road here, and we'll see where they go with that, if they go anywhere with it. But overall, this match, confusing storyline because of what they had been doing from the past month to this month, changing everything up right then and there. So overall, not all that good for that particular match. Now, this brings me to the main event of the night, which was Sheamus, Roman Reigns for TLC. And man, the fans let them have it right at the beginning. Even starting right at the beginning of the match, a "We want Cena" chant. Really? Really? Now, granted, some of the fans were still going with the Cena sucks things, but you're going with an aspect of "We want Cena." I thought it always boggles my mind. It's like fans like, we want change, and then it's like, oh, we chant for the person who's right now gone, that has been that person who brings no change in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, they basically, they let them have it throughout the entire match. Overall, the match itself, the in-ring action, if you're watching that, not bothering with the fans or anything like that, was a really good TLC match. They did a really good job of this match. I thoroughly enjoyed the spots that they came up with, making it, coming up with maybe not necessarily over-the-top ideas for hurting, putting people through spots or anything like that, but coming up with decent stuff or decent enough stuff to make it look as brutal as possible, that they're hitting each other as hard as possible with everything. And the fact that they were trying to just wear each other down to get to the title. I liked everything they did here. And, I didn't even mind the run-in at the end with the League of Nations. My biggest problem with that is, where's King Barrett? He's part of this League of Nations thing. He was there in a promo on the pre-show. Where is he during the run-in? Nowhere. You only got Swagger, you only got Rusev. And I get what they're, like I said, I got what they were going for. They're trying to put the League of Nations over strong. Rusev won his match. Del Rio won his match. Obviously, they had Sheamus win his match in the end as well. But where's Barrett in all of this? Where was Barrett in all this? He wasn't even out there. And even to play more logistically here, where at least was Dean Ambrose? I could get why the Usos don't come out and help, because they were just in a ladder match at the beginning. Yes, at the beginning of the show and everything. They were just in a ladder match, and technically injuries from the ladder match could have kept them away from going out there to help Roman Reigns. But where was Dean Ambrose in this? He should have been there to kind of help his buddy out, but nowhere to be found in this case. Now, granted, this was to set up the everything at the end of the show. And man, if they decide to do this right, please, booking, don't screw this up. I don't have high hopes for that too. But the way they booked the end of the show, with Roman Reigns kind of taking everybody out with chairs, Sheamus and Del Rio and Rusev, getting them out of the way, leading into his attack on Triple H. This was, and like I said, the way they've set this up, if they do this right, could be really, really good. I like the brawl. I like the attack and everything. They're obviously setting up something between Roman Reigns and Triple H here. If they're setting up for Mania, I feel this is what they should do. Now, this is my own opinion. They should go off the aspect, because they're playing off the aspect of, okay, Roman Reigns could be getting fired, everything like that. So this is a good way to get Roman Reigns away for a little bit. He doesn't have to be part of the Rumble or anything like that. If they're truly setting up for Roman Reigns and Triple H at WrestleMania, you go with the firing angle. You have them get fired, and you have Roman Reigns go away for at least a month and a half, if not a little bit longer, and set up something where he comes back either the night after the Royal Rumble or at the Fastlane or Elimination Chamber, whatever pay-per-views happening in February. You have something going into there and then leading into WrestleMania. If they're only doing something for the Royal Rumble, then you just play off an angle like, oh, firing you would be too easy. You're going to have to fight Triple H in a match type area. I hope they're going for Mania, and I'm hoping they go with that firing angle, because I think that could play off a little bit better than the other way around. So, the pay-per-view overall, matches, oddly enough, outside of the Dudleys, Tommy Dreamer, and Rhino going up against the Wyatts, I didn't think that tables match was all that good. The matches, in-ring wise, were pretty darn good throughout the entire night. It was pretty much setting up of the storylines. That's where things probably got hurt a little bit going into the actual pay-per-view itself. The storyline build between the Dudley, the Team Extreme, and the Wyatts, I thought was really good going into it. It was just the match didn't come off all that good in the end. So, kudos to how they set up the storyline between the two teams there. So, we'll see where they go with everything on Monday Night Raw. For the most part, like I said, in-ring action, it was a really good night. Storylines, that's based on how you feel about them at the time. I didn't necessarily like a lot of them going into it, but they at least pulled out good matches in the end, and we'll see where they go, everything leading into the Royal Rumble. So this is my review for WWE TLC, and thank you for watching.